What's up, everybody? Thank you all so much for coming back for another video. And I'm just going to give you a few simple parallel pen tips. And the pen that I'm using, it is the 6mm Pilot parallel pen. Very easy to find. And the ink that I'm going to be using is the Ecoline watercolor ink, black. And I'm using a Rhodia pad. Very simple to find. And with that said, let's go and get into the video. So first thing, I remember when I was getting really serious into calligraphy. I'll say when I first got my, oh, you heard my voice crack there? Anyways, when I first got my first Pilot parallel pen, I was so excited, and I did not know much about how to use the Pilot parallel pen properly, and I ended up cracking one of the pieces on it that hold the nib in. And that was, I don't even really remember why. But first off, you want to be light-handed, regardless of what type of paper you're using. This paper here is specifically made for calligraphy. And you don't want to be so heavy-handed that you, what's a good example? That you cannot lift the pen up, and you don't want it to feel as if that you are going to rip the paper when you're writing calligraphy. Being light-handed, it's going to take some time to get that down. And I'll have to say, with doing brush pen calligraphy, it really helped me a lot with that. And you wanna know what's crazy? I didn't even think that it would. I was just doing brush pen calligraphy because I freaking loved it. And you also want to, just like with any of your other tools, become familiar with your Pilot parallel pen, familiar with how you hold it in your hand and how it writes, the angles, how you can enter and exit a letter, how to construct one, how you can create one. But getting into creating letters with Pilot parallel pen, to be honest, it's a lot easier just to find a hand and master it. Let's go ahead and get into the next thing. Learn about the different types of ink. And if you didn't know, I do have a video on refilling your Pilot parallel pens cheap. And I'll say that because you could use watercolor ink, and as I am about to, if I can get the top unscrewed, my goodness, there we go. And let me go ahead and squeeze this plunger in there, pop all these bubbles, because I for sure do not use my parallel pens that often, as you all could probably see from my Instagram and from here on the YouTube. And with ink, it is a bit tricky to learn at first, because you may think, oh my goodness, I'm going to just ruin my pens. But with watercolor ink, as you just seen, I dipped the pen in, I dipped the nib in. And this ink, it is not going to ruin the pen. All I have to say in regards to that, whenever you are doing as you just seen me do not, I repeat, do not have black ink and then have a lighter color ink, because you are going to ruin that whole bottle of ink. What you could do, if you have black and let's say a yellow, take some of the black and the yellow, you can mix them together, or you could have a tray, have yellow ink and then black ink, and then dip one in each, or vice versa. You could do it that way, but do not mix the two, because you're going to ruin the lighter color ink. And I learned that from my experience. And with all that said, I want to reiterate, do not be afraid to experiment as well as try new styles, but most important, practice, practice, practice. Do not mix inks. Try out different papers, what works for you, because what works for one person will definitely not work for you. And when I say practice, you see this S that I just did, you want to do it until you get it down consistently, and that there's no hesitation, because with calligraphy, for me, I learned that the way how you could see the confidence with someone or just their letters is seeing how the letters are, like from the pen. If have somebody doing a letter and the lines are not, like what am I trying to say? The lines are a little bit shaky, or they're nice and crisp like this, compared to being like that. It's just simple stuff. Somebody that comes in not fully committed or confidence, instead of having like one nice swoop, you're going to come in hesitant. Don't hesitate, be confident, believe in yourself and your work, because you can do it. Just practice, study, commit yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.